Alright, and we are live. So greetings, salutations, people of the internet, and welcome to the bar. I am Sippycup, your humble bartender and entertainer for whatever time of day it happens to be for you. And welcome to Sippy's First Drink. If you're unfamiliar with Sippy's First Drink, what we do here is I have a variety of games that I try out for 10 to 60 minutes a piece, and then offer you my first impressions review. So our next game up is a walking sim, but with a Lovecraftian twist called The Shore. This is one that I, like, super excited about, which makes me very uncomfortable because when a game I have seen... So, here's the thing that I do. When I see a game, and I see its game preview, and, like, I watch it in something like Up, Down, Left, Right with Dom over on twitch.tv/TalkingBoxes Network, or I watch it on my own, and I get, like, super hyped for a game. Immediately after I watch that first trailer, I stop watching everything. I won't watch anything else. Because I don't want to sully my perception of the game when it finally becomes, like, open and released. I do the same thing with movies. Hell, sometimes I don't even watch movie trailers. And so this one is one of those, like, I saw the initial trailer and was like, holy shit. This is a Lovecraftian walking sim with, like, puzzle aspects to it, and I love everything about it. I want to completely detach myself from it because I don't want to fuck up what I see of the game. So we're gonna see. We are going to see what this game has to offer, and if my personal hype train that I have for this game was worth it. Now, I am assuming, because it's basically a walking sim, that mousey keyboard. Look at my mouse! Mousey keyboard is the thing. I don't have progress, so sure. I always find it weird. As always, timer doesn't start until the game intro, opening cutscene, has completed. Ellie, my dear Ellie, I have to find her.
I have to find her.
Oh. You also talk. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's do some stuff. So I went with borderless. I got that. Actually. Okay. It's a walking sim, so that's going to make this a little bit more interesting. I have a run. What? Oh, E is to pick up or interact with items. Shift is to run. I have feet.
A shred of hope. Oh, what a man needs to keep moving before he loses his sanity and his will. Walking along the shore reminded me of the walks I used to have with my wife.
Okay, so the things that I can interact with will have a highlight to them. Like that. Day 15. I have been arguing.
How many actual days have passed since we ended up here? It seems that all of our hopes are drifting away, like these bottles should do. They always return to the island as if something is leading them back here. If you are reading this, we need your
Interesting. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to go to that lighthouse way over there. Bear in mind, it is a bit of a walking sim, so...
We armed ourselves and walked along the shore. To our surprise, we came across other ships that had wrecked without any trace of survivors. It was like a graveyard for ships. Our compass goes mad any time we try to set a course off the island. Our captain says it's because of the volcanic dust. We think he's gone mad. Sounds like the captain was right.
Inventory. I've gotten a picture. I have not gotten much in my inventory, but okay.
They speak of a fisherman who was lost in a stranded sea.
Oh my god.
He never came back. Now I know where he lies. Your misfortunes could have drove him here.
How are these candles lit?
I have offered my right arm and spoke the correct words in his absence. Only pain accompanies me towards my demise. I was forced to leave the lighthouse. There's something wrong in all of us. Only the slumbering God can save us now. What God is he talking about?
Cthulhu. Or any of the other ones. I mean, honestly. Like, Cthulhu is the most well-known of the Lovecraftian horrors, but there are others. I honestly can't think of them off the top of my head. But others do exist. Yes, I know about toggling a run. Hello. I actually found a rather interesting Reddit post in this regards. Not to what the fuck is that?
Your fault that one is now dead and soon never come.
Stop it. It's not my daughter's voice.
What? There was a thing there. big tentacled scary thing.
As we synced our feet in the sand for the last time, she asked me to tell her one of my stories about the wild sea. I could hear each of her breaths getting shorter and shorter. And by the time I finished my story, pneumonia took her life.
As a parent, I can't even begin to imagine that pain. That hurt, that suffering. So they're starting on a heavy note here. Why are there sharp sticks pointing out from the lighthouse? What can I interact with at the lighthouse? I'm kind of thinking of the room at this point, because the room plays on the entire series of The Room, which is a PNC puzzle game. I highly recommend. I tried to speak to them, but in return they hissed and growled and made all kinds of weird noises, no trace of language. I have never seen such creatures before. Something is wrong here, like the god have forsaken this place and its creation. The fish-like people are no humans at all. They are hostile. They seem to be very aggressive. There's no trace of civilized behavior on them. Yet they seem to understand our movements as they have seen humans before. The fish-like deformities on them are present. They have tried several times to ambush us. The only solution for us is to stay near the lighthouse. I will study more of these abominations in the deep. Abnormal body shape, no symmetrical shape that could define a logical form, asymmetrical mouths all over its body, quarreling and injured and seemingly forgotten. It's been 27 days since we are here and came across something that our minds still cannot comprehend. How could such a thing exist? How does God justify this act? How can he allow such monsters to roam upon his creation? My mind is terrorized a million times as I try to visualize this beast. My hand is shaking as I draw each line. It is a plague of the mind. I decided to give it a name, the monster with 1,000 mouths. It may seem strange, but I heard a voice, or more like a whisper in my ears that shivers down my spine. Some of these things I am picking up, some of these things I am not. As we carry on, we will need more and different items, I am sure. Stagger looks way too old, but it looks like someone has already wiped clean every part of it. The shapes and sculptures are quite eerie. The coin is warm. I am more disturbed by the fact that I can't move the, can't move that on my own accord.
Those uneducated fools.
Read it.
They won't let me write for them. They're all fishermen with dirty, scuffed clothes and smell horrible. Their beards reek of alcohol.
Prost.
Comes out when they talk. I'd rather stay another 4 hours at this point and take care of the problematic mechanisms of this handcrafted construct. Do not regret this journey. It's certainly made life more interesting since then. Not to mention the view from up here. All of the hatred, misery, and sadness of mankind fade away into the line where the sea and the sky collide. He is not wrong there. It's a hell of a view.
Okay. It just turned the lighthouse on by accident, apparently. There's a piece missing. It'll look like that one. This doesn't seem to be just an ordinary statue. Every part of it is detailed. My guess is the artist behind this painting was startled by it. So there's a missing piece on the chessboard. Startled artist, random ass fucking seagulls. Seagulls are douchebags. Well, I turned on the I turned on the lighthouse itself. So maybe there's something that's changed. Honestly, don't know the fuck what. The art factory found the statue. It looks ancient. Our captain says we should take it back with us and that it could make us rich. David, on the other hand, believes that a foul stench of evil dwells within it. What utter rubbish. For the moment we wrecked here, he hasn't stopped talking about bad luck and otherworldly omens. I heard him talking to himself about throwing it back into the sea. I'm almost certain he's mad. He's obsessed with these disgusting leeches he found. He can't stop talking about how these worms have at least 9 stomachs and more than 30 brains and at least 18 testicles. He says that quality matters rather than quantity. We couldn't stop making jokes about it last night. After some time, he took it personally, thinking we were mocking him. He moved to the 3rd floor of the lighthouse to continue his little experiments. Oh, hi. From the moment I touched that artifact, I was stunned by the darkness within it. A million visions of horrific figures claimed my mind. 1,000 whispers from the past and from the future terrorized the core of my soul. I fell to the ground as a glimpse of him told Cthulhu, flicker just out at Cthulhu, flicker the hergity, higgity. Literally, the moment that his name is Spake, madness is found. Looks familiar. I've seen something similar from where I have come from. I have seen such coin before. My uncle was keeping these under his bed. The forms of this sculpture are unknown to me. But it's not a thing that I grab, which I find really... As someone who's played, like, PNCs before, your lack of a desire to just, like, carry literally everything with you is, like, super weird. Super duper weird. I don't get it. Okay, so what the fuck am I supposed to do next? What's that? What?
There's something I would like to show you.
What is that voice? Get out of my head.
Okay. Bloop.
This monolith is the key of this island. Break it free.
Okay. Can I do anything with these other things? Well, those are rotating. I don't know if they'll stop, but I'm going to keep rotating them. It's been like 20 minutes of just walking and doing fuck all, so... Well, I spun the things.
See the world through the eyes of a god, like a dream in a flash of light. Beware the existence of mind,
What?
and grasp time in your conscious mind.
What? 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 I wanna... What? How the fuck do I get out of this hole? Like that. Exactly like that. Okay, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just, like, sent a monolith literally walking away. And it was so eerie and weird, and I don't know where it happened. There it is. Do I need to do something more? Oh.
How did they manage to let him die in here? What made them forsake their civil ways?
I don't know. But I also don't know how to progress. So... I had to hide. I ran, climbed the rocks, and tried to hide. That's when I fell into the pit full of dead bodies. Their flesh looked rotten but petrified, as if their soul sucked dry out of them. The horrors in their faces touched the very void of my soul. Expressions of something horrific happened to them. That's when the rest of the crew caught me. They stripped me naked, and they locked me down here. They accused me that I was the one that brought the bad luck onto them by placing those talismans for them and blocking the pathways. All I wanted was to keep them safe despite their uncivilized behaviors. Okay. See, this is one of those things that annoys me, is like when a game kind of gives you this impossible route and I don't know how to get past it. Oh.
As a young boy, I remember my father talking about this island. He described it in a way that would scare the listener. He spoke of black butterflies, corpse candles, and broken compasses. There was a man aboard named Alan who went missing after we shipwrecked. One night, we found him walking alone across the beach. As we approached him, to our surprise, we saw that he had this fixed expression on his face, as if he had seen something horrifying. His hands and arms were paralyzed in a position like if he was protecting himself from something. We tried to ask him questions, but he didn't reply. Now he's sitting by the shore, singing songs to the rocks about reflections in the sea. I don't know what he saw.
Do you really want to know, homie? So it's definitely building up a story of this nightmare island, right? And the horrible things that you can see there. So the monolith started to move. And it is apparently continuing to do so.
It feels like it's maintained, untouched by time. The wind and the waves pause for a minute to rest. The calm before the storm.
Monolith is definitely moving.
I can barely describe what I have witnessed today. Old fool Alex suddenly went insane. He started stuffing his mouth with rocks. He kept doing so until his cheeks were completely torn. We had to tie him down. If you're reading this, send help. There's definitely something wrong with this guy.
It's been 18 days since we came to this cursed place. This is how that all started. He skipped that line in the letter.
A small whale. I recognize this boat. It was made by an artist to represent our greatest catch. How did it end up here? This was meant to be completed by the end of December. It's still September. Despite his fear about the island, he would often come here fishing some very colorful fish. I remember finding myself quite disturbed as I watched him stuff his mouth with their raw meat.
Okay. I'm just trying to inspect. And at no point am I letting go of the shift button. It doesn't matter. It's like, at no point am I gonna let go of the shift button, so I let go of the shift button, and my fucking movement speed has remained unchanged. Whoa! Hi. Apparently it was just a color. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. I was pretty sure that I needed to go that direction, but that didn't work out, so the weird thing is, it's like it doesn't want me to get back to the lighthouse. Like, the game is saying you got there once, but never again. The problem is that story-wise, that makes no fucking sense. Why the sudden and complete inability to fucking re-enter the light tower? There's a lot of weird shit just preventing me from moving forward. But at the same time, the whole, like, have you sinned from earlier in the game, it's like, I don't fucking know. What's your definition of sinning? Because I'm pretty sure a fuck ton of indigenous people would be like, nah, man, I haven't sinned at all. I did what was necessary to survive. There we go. From the moment I touched that artifact, was stunned by the darkness within it. A million visions of a horrific figure claimed my mind. 1,000 whispers from the past and from the future terrorized the core of my soul. I fell to the ground as a glimpse of him told Cthulhu. Okie dokie day. Continuing up, and I still can't use the shift button. This coin is warm. How strange. Have I... What? I don't think I have done anything to help move this forward. So, hey, what's this?
I swear I saw something towards the horizon, behind the mist. It wasn't a whale or a great white shark. Its many legs stretched 100 feet, submerging its body into the sea. It crawled as if it was infected by 1,000 parasites. From its tentacle mouth, it spit out black, disgusting, and disfigured blob-like figures. The moment they fell into the sea, they swam away faster than a dolphin. As the mist kept rising, I could barely see the creature. That wasn't a good sign. I should start placing those talismans I found at the bottom of the lighthouse around the pathways we made.
Oh, God. All right. That's where I'm gonna call it on this one. So it's a walking simulator, but also a fucking nightmare all at the same time. And I can't place how much I want to know more about this game and like the mysteries that it's weaving intentionally. The sound design is great. The visual acuity when there is a moment where it's like, oh, by the way, fuck you, nightmare creature on the fucking horizon, surprise. That happened a couple of times over the course of the game, and I really was into it. But basically, like, it is a walking sim with a nightmare behind it, and I'm super into it. I'm gonna call this an 8 out of 10. Mostly because the lack of direction and the lack of feeling like I was progressing the story in any meaningful way. It felt a lot like the sound design was on point, the visual design was on point, the control design was all on point. It's a walking sim, so it's like you don't have to do much to do that properly. It had everything right there, and it snagged the right things in the right ways, because it was like, this is a thing that could be like a glimpse of terror, and we're gonna get, and you're gonna be like, ah, and try to repeat it. And I did. I absolutely did. I tried to repeat an event that had happened in the game to make it happen again, because I wanted to know that the spook happened. And they didn't let me have it, but they let me have other things. They let me, like, be scared about the fact that this giant monolith has started moving because of something that I did, allowing it to move in all of these wild directions. And it's crazy, it's wild, it's really good. And it takes the obvious things about a horror game and says, yep, all of those tropes, we're gonna just like fucking take them in and vomit them out, and you're going to love it. And they do it in a really, really good way, and they bring it back with that Cthulhu style. So I still feel like there is like some story-based confusion that could be had here, because I don't even know how the fuck I ended up on this island, how I ended up on the shore. How did I get there? And what is moving me from place to place aside from just like the random curiosity? So there's a little bit too much that's left out in the open. And I'm not saying that I want your walking sim to have too much direction, but give me a little bit more direction. And all in all, I give it an 8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend. It is a good horror-based, from what I've seen, it is a good horror-based walking sim. And if you like horror games, if you like walking sims, this is going to be your bag. I would definitely recommend it. I just want to see what else is there. So this is one that's like, I'm shortlisting this, like, no joke, I'm shortlisting this for my my backlog gameplay. This is going in front of a lot of other games because I don't feel like this one's gonna take too long, and I want to see what the hell is going on with this. It's really kind of sucked me into it. So let me know what you think, either depending on how you're watching this, either live, you're going to put it in chat, or otherwise just go ahead and put it in the comments below. But that is going to do it for me for now. If you're new to the channel, please do consider giving me a follow. Check me out on my various other social media platforms at Sippycupgames on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, and youtube.com/Sippycup. Depending on how you're watching me, you already knew one of those. If you're watching me on YouTube, please do consider giving me a sub, and also hitting that bell. Please do share these videos with other people so that, like, you can, you know, let other people know the awesomeness that is Sippy. At least give it a consideration. But that is, for real, gonna do it for me for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I raise my glass to you. Laters.